Hello and welcome to the Walt Whitman Show. Welcome to my kitchen in Ireland, coming to you from Cork, small city on the island down the south coast. And this is the Walt Whitman Show, which comes virtually every day on Periscope at about this time. And some of the most lovely people and occasionally a cat come on the show. And sometimes the cat is a complete distraction. Anyway, to those of you who come for poetry, you may have to put up with a cat called Puma. Welcome Susan. Welcome Lars. Lars is from Denmark. Susan is from Indiana. Andrew, United States. David Atchison, Party World there. Southeast of Ireland, place called Waterford. Julie, that's Judy Cakes. Oh dear, I can see this cat is... thank you very much for sharing. Thank you very much. Very pleased that you're able to be here. Clearly having problems at the production end here. Some of the cast are out of control, but this is, I guarantee you, a poetry show, and I have every intention of reading you the poetry of Walt Whitman. Born on Long Island in 1819, and you're from Long Island. Well, wonderful, wonderful. Excuse me, I have to do something about the cat, but never mind. Yes, how wonderful. Walt Whitman, born in 1819 on Long Island, and he died in Camden, New Jersey in 1892. And in my opinion, yes, Mannahatta, yes, absolutely. Bowling Green, Ohio, hello, welcome, thank you. Mark J. Fraz, who is Mark Frazzle, put Puma in the car. Well, now look here, people won't understand that remark, David. Unless they were here last night, they won't understand that. I'm going to just figure out a solution to this problem. I'll put the cat there. Now, Puma, come and sit on my lap. Come here. Oh, yes. Now, you just sit there, yeah? Yeah, sit there. Yeah, be nice. Okay, right. Complete distraction. You can't have serious poetry with a cat looking at the screen. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, I cannot take this. I'm afraid I will get on with the poetry in a second, but this is overwhelming me. And it's not always like this. Now, Puma, come here, my darling. There you are. You sit there, right? Okay? You sit there. Yeah? You sit there. You just sit down. Sorry, as you all know, no doubt already, better than me, you can't train cats. Oh, you're going to have Glenlivet. Right, that's a very fine Scotch malt whiskey. Carl Sandburg. I fell madly for Carl Sandburg when I read his poem called The City when I was in Los Angeles. And it is one of the finest poems I've ever read about a place. So, on with the motley, as they say. Time for some Walt Whitman. And tonight, just to tell people who are new here, my intention is to read the whole of Walt Whitman's poetry on Periscope. Now, Puma, I'm going to get cross. Right, you've never seen a cat murdered before, have you? Well, I'm afraid for the sake of... No, Susan, don't worry. Don't have a canary. please don't have a canary. I have never yet in my life decapitated a cat. I have never decapitated a cat. The whole of Walt Whitman's poetry is going to be read here on Periscope. All saved on catch, I hope. Okay, come on. You sit there now. Puma's going in his own room in a minute, right? Right. Did Walt Whitman ever decapitate that? There is no written record of Walt Whitman ever being cruel to any animal, Simon. Wash your mouth out, right? Preferably with some strong balsamic, okay? Right. We're reading on. I need to change the light behind me. Yes, you are right again, of course. You are right again. Okay. Thank you, my coach. Walt Whitman's poetry, a poem called A Broadway Pageant, part 2, goes as follows. Superb-faced Manhattan, comrade Americanus, to us then at last the Orient comes. To us, my city, where our tall-topped marble and iron beauties range on opposite sides, to walk in the space between. Today, our antipodes comes. The originatress comes, the nest of languages, the bequeather of poems, the race of eld, florid with blood, pensive, wrapped with musings, hot with passion, sultry with perfume, with ample and flowing garments, with sunburnt visage, with intense soul and glittering eyes, the race of Brahma comes. See my cantabile, these and more are flashing to us from the procession. As it moves, changing, a kaleidoscope divine, it moves, changing before us. For not the envoys, nor the tanned Japanese from his island only, lithe and silent, the Hindu appears, the Asiatic continent itself appears, the past, the dead, the murky night, morning of wonder and fable inscrutable, the enveloped mysteries, the old and unknown beehives, the north, the sweltering south, eastern Assyria, the Hebrews, the ancient of ancients, vast desolated cities, the gliding present, all of these and more are in the pageant procession. Geography, the world is in it. The great sea, the brood of islands, Polynesia, the coast beyond, the coast you henceforth are facing, you Libertad, from your western golden shores, the countries there with their populations, the millions en masse are curiously here. The swarming of marketplaces, the temples with idols ranging along the side, or at the end, bronze, Brahmin, and Lama, Mandarin, farmer, merchant, mechanic, and fisherman, the singing girl and the dancing girl, the ecstatic persons, the secluded emperors, Confucius himself, the great poets and heroes, the warriors, the castes, all trooping up, crowding from all directions, from the Altai Mountains, from Tibet, from the four winding and far-flowing rivers of China, from the southern peninsulas and the demi-continental islands, from Malaysia. These and whatever belongs to them, palpable, show forth to me, and are seized by me, and I am seized by them, and friendlily held by them, till, as hear them all I chant, Libertat, for themselves and for you. For I, too, raising my voice, join the ranks of this pageant. I am the chanter. I chant aloud above the pageant. I chant the world on my western sea. I chant copious the islands beyond, thick as stars in the sky. I chant the new empire, grander than any before, as in a vision it comes to me. I chant America, the mistress. I chant a greater supremacy. I chant projected 1,000 blooming cities, yet in time on those groups of sea islands. My sail ships and steamships treading the archipelagos, my stars and stripes fluttering in the wind, commerce opening, the sleep of ages having done its work, races reborn, refreshed, lives, works resumed. The object I know not, but the old, the Asiatic renewed as it must be, commencing from this day, surrounded by the world. End of part 2 of a Broadway pageant by Walt Whitman. How would Walt Whitman have voted? Thank you, Susan. Very nice. Julie, thank you. Thank you. Well, it is. It's, have you ever heard a pageant described with so much energy? The stuff of that, like an opium dream, yes. But I believe that that was what Whitman actually saw, or what he took from what he saw and elevated. What a... Yes, his brain on fire, but his descriptive abilities, his ability to combine things together, flowing. Never forget he was a successful journalist. Never forget that. He wasn't a poet from the beginning. This is a guy who was well able to write, well able to capture readers and hold their attention. It's a good thing he wrote, otherwise he would have exploded. Yeah. The whole... you can visualize what he saw. Yes. This is a pageant. The great sea, the brood of islands, Polynesia, the coast beyond, the coast you henceforth are facing. It is the stuff from which you can activate your imagination ever so easily. You know, you certainly don't have to stick with it literally. It sets off pictures, doesn't it? It really does. Sorry, that's just how it affected me. I really am quite taken with it. You know, I feel myself almost to be a child at a pageant. Don't know what kind of a pageant. Don't know where it really happened. But Technicolor stuff. Yeah. And we haven't finished yet. We haven't got to the last part. Florid with blood. Yes, no TV, no internet, and still all these photos. Yeah, every line is a collection of photographs, but we're used to that. I mean, Walt, your husband is starting to like Walt Whitman. Wow, line 29, I haven't got lines here. Mark, I haven't got lines on the side of the page. I think it's imagery and the way the images are joined up in lines that are long. Oh my goodness, Ollie. Oh yes, you must go to bed. You'll dream of Walt Whitman if you stay here. No, go to bed, please. Please. I wouldn't have you any other way than in bed. Get thee to a beddery. He would have been a crazy Hollywood instructor. Yes, yes. But you could imagine, you could almost imagine, it's filmic. It's very filmic, isn't it? I don't know if that's a proper word, but there are worse things. Cecil B. DeMille, yeah. He made nothing for the theatre as far as I know, Lars. Cinematic, okay. Yes, of course, it should be move-o-matic or movie, anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's, so now we have a choice, I think. I think I should read it again, really. I think I should resist the temptation to read the last part. You know, I think we need to hear again the central part of the pageant. Yeah, I do think so. I do think it would be a pleasant but superficial move to, yes, he made a permanent visual movie in our heads. Well, he may well have increased its permanence after the second reading. Greetings to Russia. Greetings to Russia. Greetings to... Russia's such a big place. Please tell us where you're from in Russia. You'd love a short film showing the images he writes about. That would be beyond anybody. Right. Here we go. The second part of Walt Whitman's poem. Yes, it shows rather than tells. Yes. Oh, every poet, every good poet would say that. Yes. And I certainly didn't invent show, not tell. Okay, here we go. A Broadway Pageant by Walt Whitman, Part 2. Superb-faced Manhattan, comrade Americanos, to us, then at last the Orient comes. To us, my city, where our tall-topped marble and iron beauties range on opposite sides. To walk in the space between, today our antipodes come. The originatress comes, the nest of languages, the bequeather of poems, the race of eld, florid with blood. pensive, rapt with musings, hot with passion, sultry with perfume, with ample and flowing garments, with sunburnt visage, with intense soul and glittering eyes, the race of Brahma comes. See my cantabile, these and more are flashing to us from the procession. As it moves, changing, a kaleidoscope divine, it moves, changing before us. For not the envoys, nor the tanned Japanese, from his island only, lithe and silent, the Hindu appears. The Asiatic continent itself appears, the past, the dead. The murky night, morning of wonder and fable inscrutable, the enveloped mysteries, the old and unknown hive bees, the north, the sweltering south, eastern Assyria, the Hebrews, the ancient of ancients, vast desolated cities, the gliding present, all of these and more are in the pageant procession. Geography, the world is in it. The great sea, the brood of islands, Polynesia, the coast beyond, the coast you henceforth are facing, you Libertad, from your western golden shores. The countries there with their populations, the millions en masse, are curiously here. The swarming marketplaces, the temples with idols, ranging across the sides or at the end, bronze, Brahmin, and Lama, Mandarin, farmer, merchant, mechanic, and fisherman, the singing girl and the dancing girl, the ecstatic persons, the secluded emperors, Confucius himself, the great poets and heroes, the warriors, the castes, all trooping up, crowding from all directions, from the Altai mountains, from Tibet, from the four winding and far-flowing rivers of China, from the southern peninsulas and the demi-continental islands of Malaysia. These and whatever belongs to them, palpable, show forth to me and are seized by me. And I am seized by them and friendlily held by them, till as hear them all I chant, Libertat, for themselves and for you, for I too, raising my voice, join the ranks of this pageant. I am the chanter, I chant aloud above the pageant, I chant the world on my western sea, I chant copious the islands beyond, thick as stars in the sky. I chant the new empire grander than any before, as in vision it comes to me. I chant America the mistress. I chant a greater supremacy. I chant projected 1,000 blooming cities, yet in time on those groups of sea islands. My sail ships and steamships threading the archipelagos, my stars and stripes fluttering in the wind, commence opening, the sleep of ages having done its work, races reborn, refreshed, lives, works resumed. The object I know not, but the old, the Asiatic renewed as it must be, commencing from this day, surrounded by the world. Commencing from this day, surrounded by the world. End of part 2 of Walt Whitman's poem, A Broadway Pageant. He's on Broadway, then he flips the globe over. Yeah, not in any murk tonight, my friend, not in any murk. No, I'm in my kitchen, where I usually am, where we usually meet. Well, here's to you, my friends. Cheers. I just felt like going back to my roots, going back to the Egg Cup Club, going back to the foundations around which many of us came together months ago. Cheers. Cheers. This is an egg cup from Malaysia, which is why I brought it to the Walt Whitman show tonight, since Malaysia gets a mention or two. To the Egg Cup Club and to Dale, sitting in McPee's in Lake Tahoe having a veggie burger. Hey, that's lovely. In Scotland we have is that qualsh? Is that the word, qualsh? So I must say that the line in here, the line in the poem, which goes, hold on, I'm going to find it, yeah. My stars and stripes fluttering in the wind took on a whole new meaning for me, and a whole new, never above you, never below you, always by your side. Yes, 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 great. I guess you could put that on Whitman's tomb. I don't know what is on his tomb, but I think that is such a great line. Dale is in Denver in Colorado. I'll carve mine like Spike Milligan. Jack, I told you I was ill. Oh, right. I hadn't really... Is it true that when cats love their carers, they bite them? Is that true? You like the imagery of threading the archipelagos. Yes. Yes. It's good sailing imagery, isn't it really? So cats nip, and that is a sign of affection. No, that's what's in Spike's gravestone. Ah! I told you I was ill. Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Yeah, I'd forgotten that. Maybe the cat is hungry. No, this cat isn't hungry. Whitman is a veritable fountain of images. Oh, that's good news. I have a shed. I have a shed where you can all stay. Yes, perfect. Cats will eat you in your house. Oh, right. The cat is wanting my attention, yes. The cat is not mine, right? Sorry, the cat is completely distracting. The cat is not mine. The cat belongs to my 10-year-old daughter. I may have to get special gloves for the Walt Whitman show. Yeah. That means it's yours. Yeah. I tell you, there's a word in here. And yes. What can somebody tell me what the something like the tribe of Eld, the race of Eld. Would somebody be able to tell me, Andrew, are you still there? Do you know what the race of Eld is? E-L-D. It comes where it says the originatress. Yes, that's it. The originatress comes. The nest of languages. The bequeather of poems. The race of Eld. Yeah, there's a very close to the beginning of part 2. In the third little piece of it, the third piece of the poem, if you like, third paragraph, I suppose. The old and wise. Well, Andrew has the notes in front of him, and he's fantastic at educating us as regards references. And I thought, well, is it really elders? Is it really... But it's almost like Whitman is talking about the nest of languages. So all of the languages, almost like as if all the languages of the world came out of the nest in Asia. I don't, but we choose our own thoughts and belief in life. You certainly do. Yes, you do. Yeah, and so do I guess. And I choose from whatever choices I perceive myself to have. Yes. It's not elves. It's not elves. It refers to people of olden time. Right. People of olden time. Right. Tribes that go right back, I imagine it to be. Yeah. Anyway, to talk about Asia as the place where, languages come. Languages come. The bequeather of poems. Now, I just wonder what Whitman is thinking of when he's talking about the bequeather of poems, unless, of course, you say, well, the place from which all the languages came is where all the poetry came from. I was just intrigued by that line. What is the most spoken language in the world? There's a very good question. I kind of thought it would be Mandarin. Yeah. But how would I know? I mean, I'm not knowledgeable enough about all these things. All right. Well, there are so many people in China. All right, you pussycat. All right. Well, has anybody got a birthday? Not just in China, right? Mandarin is spoken in other places. Is that what you mean, Jack? Is Mandarin spoken in other parts of the world? I mean, I guess Mandarin is spoken in San Francisco, in London, in everywhere where there's a Chinese community. Although Cantonese is spoken as well. So I just kind of wondered about that. Who's this? Well, Paige, we're just inspired by Walt Whitman's poetry. But I was about to ask if anybody had a birthday today. 5.6 million people speak Danish. Right. Yeah, I'm Paul. I'm Paul, and you're very welcome. And Madzub is Dale. And I think a lot more people than that speak Danish, Lars. Oh, are you a stand-up comic? That's very good. I love that. I love that. I would have thought it's lovely when somebody brings a bit of humor, you know. Lars, all the people in Norway and Sweden, they also speak Danish, right? Or they can at least understand Danish. Sorry, but you're, would you really like to know what I'm drinking? I'm drinking Sauvignon Blanc, and this is the Walt Whitman Show, and it's what is the Walt Whitman Show? The Walt Whitman Show is a poetry show that takes place here on Periscope every day. Starts a bit earlier than this. Norwegian, I know Norwegian is different from Swedish and Danish. Look, Lars, I know that, but every person in Sweden, and I was just trying to increase your numbers. I would have thought so, Simon. In fact, maybe I'm wrong. Lars will, of course, tell me. I think people of the Scandinavias understand each other's language without difficulty at all. Oh yeah, Finnish is a different kettle of fish. Finnish is a very different kettle of fish altogether. Yeah, tis. Finnish is a country full of islands. Aha, we watch the bridge and see the Swedish and Danish talking a single language, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you do, yeah. You have a good friend, Ollie, living in this. Oh, do you live in Aberdeen? Aberdeen. In Scotland? Jack, are you in Scotland? Ah, right. I've been to Aberdeen. It's a cold place in the winter, isn't it? Dr. Kathy, hello. Welcome. Thank you very much for coming. Up in the Grampians. Ah, right. Speak Gaelic to you. Okay, Misha Raftrian Philal on Dokish is crawl, as Sula gon solis is Cunis gon crawl. That's the beginning of a pretty famous poem in Gaelic. Frozen Alaska. Wow, look at that. Finnish has Hungarian rather than Scandinavian roots. Did you, it's like saying Gaelic is English. Ah, right. Oh, yes. I mean, I always think of, am I wrong to compare Finnish with Hungarian? Both of them being languages which aren't all that easily related to other languages. Perhaps I'm wrong about that. Perhaps I'm very wrong about that. Connection is a better way of saying it than roots. Ah, yeah. Celt. I hear the latest research in relation to the Celts says that there never were. Celt is a word invented to describe something that didn't exist. The Finnish and the Hungarians are related. Oh, right. Finnish, Hungarian and Korean have similarities, right? Well, look here, you're educating me. I didn't realize the Koreans are related. The Danes and Norwegians stick together against the Swedes. Yeah, that's all because of Gustavus Adolphus, isn't it, Lars? Isn't that the person who caused all the trouble? Because Gustavus Adolphus was so successful at dominating everything at the time that the Danes may never have recovered, or am I completely round the twist? They're all like Scots whiskey. Can I draw your attention to if there are no Celts, that who were the storytellers? Well, whatever they were, it's believed that it's wrong to put, all of the people we call as Celts in together. I'd like you to welcome, please, Sanoir, who's very welcome. Very, very welcome. Is good evening, or good day at least. Thank you so much for coming. Yes. Now we have a wordsmith among us. Yeah. A seriously good wordsmith. Yeah. So, what? Oh, just to fill you in, a word shark. Careful with your words now; they might get snaffled by Saint Noir. Yeah, some Irish influence. Yeah, my entire knowledge of Icelandic literature is confined to having read one book, Laxdale's Saga, and that's all. Snaffled, yeah. Aha, there's a word. There's an interesting word to snaffle something, yeah? Yeah, it's a good one, it is. Oh, my goodness me. My goodness me. I tell you what, Mr. McGregor is a character in a book by a woman. Aha, Sturluson, a good writer, right. You keep getting new people. Would you mind putting that person's name up again? Snurlson. I'd be grateful if you could put that up, because I'm going to write it in the book here. Snurlson. S-N... Is it E-U-R? S-T-U-R-L-E-S. S-T-U-R-L-E-S. Leson. Sturluson, or some pronunciation like that. Snorri. Sturluson. Thank you very much. Sturluson. Anyway, I've got it written down. I missed Simon's joke. I really did. Snoring Stumpy's son. All right. Snorri is a name. Parents take note. You bought a Snorri from IKEA. Right. A Snorri from IKEA. Gesundheit. What does this have to do with snoring? Susan, thank you for coming back. Yes. Who is this person? I'm not sure which person. There are a few people here who have remarkable characters and quite remarkable fingers. They type in things that I never understand. Snorri. Yes. Your daughter called FaceTime, so I got my iPad. Aha! So you got on your iPad. Snorri Bear. Oh dear. Blame me. That's it. Go on. Blame me for all this stuff about Snorri. I thought Snorri was all about snoring. I'm not drinking any more wine. Yeah. This is a very good question. I also don't understand. I think Snorri is something you buy from IKEA. Now, I could be wrong, but I think Simon said he bought it in IKEA. Yeah, no. The brain was addled before the wine, Simon. By the way, in case I forget it, if you were even half serious about Jana's writing, I would be honoured to publish it. I haven't been very good at following up about that. You didn't say hello. Hello. Hello, Pruny. Hello. Chris from Florida. Hello, Chris. Faithless Soul. Oh, yes, that's a great name. Faithless Soul. And a literature panel. Snorri Sturluson is an Icelandic storyteller. 900 years ago. Was that before IKEA was born? Or after? Sometime of Rip Van Winkle. Yes. No, it's nice. It's Fatal Soul. I like that. Got a ring to it. IKEA was the joke. Their items have funny sounding names. Well, you see, I'll always remember Snorri Sturluson now because of IKEA. And Madzub is always teasing, right? He's only serious when he's saying he's had quite enough of this topic and he'd like to discuss something else. I did, Simon. I said that I have registered the remark you made twice, I think, if not 3 times, about the possibility of publishing Jana's work. And I want you to know, because I keep forgetting to say it by other means, that I'd be honoured to do so. Your poetry teacher was called Mr. Bell. Yes. Have you heard of space bears? They live in moss. They're their own... No, I haven't. I've never heard of space bears. Never at all. She sent me a DM. You mean just now? If she sent me one before, I'm shocked. and I don't know how I didn't respond immediately. So perhaps, Mr. Twitter took it away. Yes, she's a German import. Yes, that's right. Yes, she was imported in order to improve the gene pool in Britain. Yes, there's a scope. They look at microbiology, stuff like space bears. Okay, all I can say is that I'm going to go. She's left-hand drive. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's very handy to have a right-hand and a left-hand driver in the family. Good night, Mark. Good night, Mark. Thank you again for coming. Thank you. I don't know anything about space bears. All I know is about Lego. His handle is Bob the cat. Oh, I'm a bit distracted because I got a cat sitting on my lap. That's my excuse. Okay, I gotta watch a YouTube video. Okay, I gotta watch a YouTube video, right? Oh, God. Yes. I just love watching you chatting away as my brain softly folds to dust. Yes, I have a publishing house called My Blog, and I publish the work of recently, particularly the Newry Canal. Yeah, I have published the work of people that I know and who I meet, particularly on the Walt Whitman show. And yeah, there are some highly talented people here. And, I'm looking forward to publishing photographs by some of them. Yes, the brain folds, yeah. It does. It does. It has been said that Lars is real. Paulings, yes. I am appalling, Dale. I'm appalling. Well, thank you very much. I'm fortunate, terribly fortunate to have lichen as a living thing. It certainly is. It certainly is. But I'm looking forward to publishing photographs by some of the amazing photographers who also have a poetic side and who Pauling was a very famous scientist, wasn't he? Another Pauling, yeah. What was Pauling famous for? Those of you who are into science, who are scientists, the man from Muddy Rivers, yeah, that's Lars, definitely. It's Roger Overall's cartoons I want to publish, Simon. Oh, so far only one of them. Deirdre, there's Mammy Disney, welcome. Welcome, Mammy Disney. Thank you, Dale. Thank you very much. Welcome from Galway. It's very good of you to come. Really good. Thank you. Space bears have a diversity of DNA that may have helped them survive all the extinctions. I have to get my head around this. Well, I tell you what, guys, before we finish, which I guess might be in about 10 minutes, I'm going to read some more poetry. Now that Mama Disney has come, Yeah, I don't know what, I haven't, I got a backache here. Yeah, it's, well, talking about, you're one for talking about families now. You're one for talking about families. You can't remember all your children. How many children have you had then? You know, it's, read the last verse. Now, I'll read again some of what we've read this evening. Just a small bit of before we finish, but we chat for a few more minutes, okay? It's I hate stopping. There are two bastards and one real. Oh, that's your children, Lars, is it? Yeah. He can't remember the mothers of all his children. Right. Right. With 5, I run down the list to be sure you get the names right. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's there are people here who probably have difficulty remembering the names of all their pets. I mean, how many people here can remember the name of Lars's pig? How many people here can remember the name of Lars's pig? Old Kaloa, you're never late. You're never late. Look at this, the world's most famous pig. We got about 6 bacons. The place is full. I mean, Lars is an expert marketeer. He's managed to... It's okay. So put it on account, Lars. Wow. You will try to periscope local poets gathering in a nearby bar. Oh, I'd love to hear that. I really would. He had 13 children and he came up with 14 names. Your birthday. Hang on a minute now. You can't remember names of all the gods that rule the sky and earth. You can't. Oh, well, we should have a go at doing that. We've got some people here who are into gods. Happy birthday, old Kaloa. I had no idea. Oh, somebody made that up. Siddhartha. Wow. Well, that's going across to the other side of the world. That's not Thor and Wotan and Fricka and Fafnir and Zeus, and I get them all mixed up. I get the Roman ones mixed up with the Greek ones. And how many can remember the name of Lars's parrot? How many can remember the names of Lars's parrot? Come on now. Show off. Night, Simon. Night. Paul Vitt. Siddhartha. Yeah. It's you can't remember the names of all the... Yeah. How many remembered? No, not Polly. Hang on, Mama Disney has 3 parrots. You shouldn't be calling your children parrots. I think that's really, that might be funny, but to call your children parrots is really a bit much. I just wait till I tell at least one of your children that you're calling them parrots. No. Nellie is the name of Lars's parrot. Obviously, Nellie hasn't received as much attention as Bacon. Oh yes, the Star Wars movie was a bit of the Star Wars movie was made in the most wonderful place in Ireland. Wasabi. Oh, that's a great name. That is a great name. I love Wasabi. 3 kids, 3 parrots, 3 dogs, and 2 cats. Nellie is the name of Lars's parrot. Not on your Nellie, right? You can't remember the name of all the seas I've crossed to see your face. The Skelligs, correct. And you've even spelt it right. You've even spelt it. Wow. Goodbye, goodbye. Back to work, yes. An African grey parrot, right. It sounds like these two have got a lot they could talk about. They've got a lot in common. Faithless soul, cheerio. Oh, they both have greys. Now we've got serious parrot people. No, parrots can take over the scope. I think it's about time parrots took over the scope. Tell me, can your parrot sing the Queen of the Night aria from Mozart's opera Die Zauberflöte? Because Lars's parrot can. Photographed them in the late 80s. I wish I could have had a pint with you back then. Oh. I've a grey, a gala, and a rock pebbler. Wow, a rock pebbler. I think that's a wonderful name. Space Bears is the new talking parrot of existence. Check out the African grey Einstein on YouTube. No, but he says love you to me every morning. Oh, that is a wonderful thing to happen. That's very good for your mental health. To have somebody say love you every morning is, Einstein is incredible. We've got parrot lovers here, guys. We have got serious parrot people on Periscope, protruding preciously. Parrot people, yes. Guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm going to leave you to your parrots and your paroxysms precociously, yes, precociously. But you can, I'm leaving you in paroxysms with proper panache. Einstein can say 300 words. Yes, can Einstein say relativity? There's the question. Or can Einstein say MC squared? Yes. I want to hear more about Einstein. Good night to you all. And thank you. And even Puma says thank you. Check him out. Wow. Hey, bye-bye, Andrew, and thanks a million. Thanks a million. Bye-bye. Oh, old Kello, I was going to read some. I'm terribly sorry. I kind of just hit the wall, so I won't read. I'm sorry, I actually forgot that I said I was going to read. Okay. Night-night. Thank you all very, very much. Big thanks to the parrot people. They've certainly made this scope stand out in my memory forever. The evening that Mama Disney and Lars Blickfeld discovered that they had more in common than just their good looks. I mean, wow. Periscope, absolutely, Alan, you got it right first time. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.